Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's me, Mitch, and it's 9:30, the new time. Hope this didn't confuse too many people this morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And, as usual, drink it if you got it. And I got it. Oh, wow. What a morning so far. Unbelievable. You will not believe what happened. I'm drinking out of a Kiltz. Dr. Kiltz handmade coffee cup this morning. A gift to me. On one of the occasions where we actually met up. I think it was in Orlando last summer. And there's a reason why I drug out the Kiltz coffee cup this morning, and I will tell you all about it in a few minutes. Foggy outside and damp. Wow, I'm telling you. The afternoons are gorgeous here, but the mornings suck. Sorry, guys. The mornings have sucked. No morning sun, no nothing. So I've been doing it inside here, and it's fine. It's fine. I have beautiful coffee shop scenery behind me. And welcome. Look at all the people coming in. Look at all the people. And the chat's rolling, and 104 people so far. Wow, wow, wow. I want to thank you guys just for the support and attention that I've seemed to have gotten over the last couple of days. An amazing thing happened to me. An amazing thing happened yesterday. I spent quite a few hours going over all of the comments that were on that video I put up the other day from the kitchen, cooking breakfast, talking about what I think are the realities of YouTube. And I really expected I was going to get chastised all over the place for that. You know, with comments like, why don't you grow a pair already, Mitch? You know, things like that. And I'm going through the comments. There were hundreds of them. And I'm going through the comments one after another. And they were all, by and large, one heartwarming comment after another. And I'm going, wow, wow. There were only 2 out of all of those comments, and they weren't even really nasty. They were self-proclaimed YouTube experts, just basically giving me suggestions of what I need to change. Things like, well, Mitch, why don't you just go out and get a part-time job where you can make some real money and just cut your YouTube activity back to 1 or 2 days a week? Well, okay, and I can't be mad at somebody for suggesting that, but believe it or not, there was not a single comment where I even contemplated on, just getting rid of the user or anything. So, wow. I mean, it was incredibly surprising. So I got through all of those comments. Up to about an hour or two ago, I got caught up on all the comments, on all the videos, and wow, it's been quite a few days here. Let me get rid of that scrolling, distracting chat up there. No banners scrolling by this morning, no nothing. So I'm here. And there's a reason for this, but let me before I get into what are my few show notes today and bring you up to date on some surprising turns of events this morning. Let me I'm wearing my meat shirt today. You haven't seen that in a while? Yes. Yes, meat is not food, friends. Meat is a lifestyle. That would be a great t-shirt, wouldn't it? Meat is a lifestyle. Live it. Something like that. That would be funny. That would be funny. Let me go over to the comments here and go back to the beginning and just say hi to the early birds real quick, and we'll get that out of the way. And then, wow, look at all the chat. Holy cow, where's the top? There it is. First one in, Francine Bourgeois. Hi, Francine in Montreal says hi to all. See you in 14 hours. Smoothie 420 came in last night. Lewis L. from New York came in last night. And Thomas Target Prime Rib last night about 9:30, along with B81 Mac, Quack Rick in Miami chimed in, and Cliff Medina chimed in last night. Anna PL07 chimed in. That was around 1 o'clock in the morning. Holy cow! Here come the insomniacs. Lady June was awake. And we went all the way up to 5 o'clock. Not too many insomniacs last night. Glad to see you guys got a decent night's sleep. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Lynn Gerber. Hiya, Lynn. First thing this morning, Mike Seeley from Melbourne. Yes, it is foggy. Oh, it's terrible. But it's going to be a beautiful afternoon. And it's going to be warm. I think it's going to be 80 degrees today. Wow, welcome back summertime. What happened to winter? It was 70 degrees out there this morning. Crazy. And I've been up since I got out of bed a little before 5 a.m. Terry Sue out in, oh wow, 4:20 a.m. Yeah, that's out there in California. And I got an email from Terry, and she said basically your time change really helps me out. Now the thing starts at 6:30 in the morning. But Terry, it doesn't matter because you're always up in the middle of the night anyway. But I'm glad that it helps somebody, and I think it's going to be a change for the positive. So I got up this morning and I said, okay, wow, I got this newfound, well, Wednesday's usually a late start anyway. I didn't feel the need. Don't need to go to Sam's Club. So I said, well, I can go to Sam's Club any morning now. What a sense of freedom. I've been liberated. Let me just go for a walk. And I looked outside and it was horrible out there. And so I didn't walk this morning. But I'm going to shoot again for tomorrow morning. Go for a walk. I'll take the camera along. Maybe some words of wisdom will flow out of my mouth while I'm walking. And that's what usually happens. Greg Smith is here this morning. How you doing, Greg? Good to see you. We have a longer time for the pre-chat now. We have an extra hour every morning. And Patty Molden checked in. Good to see you. Tuka, hiya, Tuka. Tuka seems to be doing great on carnivore. Congratulations. Peter's back here in the morning. Forgot the new start time. That's okay, Peter. That's okay. You're a busy guy in the morning. Up at 5 o'clock every morning on Kiltz's channel. How do I know that? I know. Wayne Herman is here. Hiya, Wayne. And everybody's talking to Tuka. Who else is? William McCartney chimed in. How you doing, William? Mike Silly from Tampa chimed in. Terry Sue is back. And we have Rhonda Brown. Good morning from southeastern Pennsylvania. That's where I'm from, Philadelphia. Good morning, Philadelphia, or Philadelphia and vicinity is how they usually describe it. Richard Williams from Copper Hill, Tennessee is here. And Juan Manuel Buenos Dias from South America, from Chile. Good morning, Juan. Good morning to you. Always good to see you. Chelsea Oates. Good morning, Chelsea. Ha! I like this. Nearly carnivore. Hi, all. Jeff Johnson's here. Hiya, Jeff. How you doing? And Northwood Trains is with us. Thomas Target Prime Rib is here. How you doing? Scott Evans is here. Francine is back 14 hours later. Oh, Francine, thank you for everything you do. Especially thank you for the hot coffee every morning. Yes, yes. I'll never forget that, ever. Hey, Steve McAvoy, how you doing? Steve and I chimed in, and we're sneaking up on 9:30. Sneaking up 150 people, about 150 people in here. Holy cow, Lord. I don't want to spend too much time doing this. I got some stuff to talk about, and I sure would like to get to some questions. So let's start queuing them up now. If you have questions, 3 capital Qs in the chat. And we'll get to them. We'll get to them. I'm in no hurry. I got nowhere to go today. Doesn't matter to me if this runs over. I've given up, totally, completely abandoned the idea of a 1-hour live stream in the morning, and that's fine. That's okay. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy doing this. Jemmet is here. Hiya, Jemmet. Sneaking up on 8:30. Ellen's with us. Good morning, Ellen. Glad you're here. Good to see you. Kim Appreciates Life is here. And Bryce Hatch. Good morning, everybody. Tammy Petarch, good morning to you. Good morning to you. And 8:28, Aaron Booby Goats, good morning. And Ketra, good morning, Ketra. Great, good to see you. Meatitudes is here, and Mama Bear is here. And I know Mama Bear's first name, but I don't say it because she's never posted it in here. So, Mama Bear, if it's okay for me to start calling you by your first name, let me know. Let me know. And I'll be happy to do that. And if you don't let me know, until you let me know, I won't do it. But I know your name. William McCartney, Claudia Burkick. Wow. Look at all these people. And, yeah, I hope Mitch had a great walk this morning. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I'm a little disappointed. And I already got loaded up with some work for today after the stream from my daughter. I have to do that. So by the time I would even be able to get out there for a walk, it's going to be in the 80s. And I don't like to walk in the afternoon. So we'll do it tomorrow. David Clooney, how you doing? Good to see you, David, from Michigan. Michigan, good to see you. And where the hell is 8:30? Man, look at all these people. Gary, how you doing? Is it daytime savings time? I had a suggestion this morning that maybe I should have made this time change coincide with the change over to daylight savings time. And that would have made it where people wouldn't have to have adjusted their whole lifestyle or morning routine twice within a month or two. But and hold on to your hats, folks. I'm going to pronounce this correctly this morning. Good morning, Bama J. How you doing? See? My brain may be old, but it still remembers a few things. Bob Black is here. How you doing? And ding, ding, ding. No, it wasn't the winner. It was Bama. Bama J was the winner first at 8:30. Congratulations. Wear your achievement proudly. Followed by Bob Black, Marla Kelly, Ellen, Jason H., Laurie, Ellen again, Don Schonger. Wow, Marion Wong, good morning to you. And who is this? This is Jason H. again, and Scott Elliott and Terry Sue, all these at 9:30 coming in, 9:30, Jemmet, Anna, Ellen again for the 4th or 5th time, and within a minute, Dixie Scott, And that's it. Dixie, you wrap up the horse race. And you placed this morning with that. Great to see all you guys. And just missing it. Just missing it. Don Galasso. And I think I'm going to stop it right there and get on to an interesting turn of events that I want to tell you all about. And it involves my brother, Dr. Robert Kiltz. I don't know what to say. Sometimes people enter into your life, and when you first meet them, you figure everybody's got an angle and an agenda. And I met Kiltzy last year for the first time in person, but I'd been following him on YouTube, so I knew him. And when I first met him, he was the warmest, kindest, most generous person that I think I'd ever met. And having been beat up all my life by unscrupulous humans who at first may have seemed very genuine, you know, my 77-year-old cynicism kicks in, and it didn't last long because we both seem to take an incredible liking to each other. And not only do we have so much in common, even though our lives went in completely different directions years ago, I felt a connection with the guy. And I think he felt a connection with me. But then Kiltz is that way and treats everybody that way, which just makes me think maybe there is no agenda. And I always try to figure things out. I always try to figure what's the angle here. But he doesn't want anything from me. I can't do anything for him. My life went in a tragic direction. I lost my businesses, lost my retirement. I'm in no financial condition, as I'm not ashamed to admit, because, shit happens. And I'm trying to make the best of what I got, and I'm a very basically happy guy. Trying to help people when I can, and be there for support and advice and maybe some wisdom along the way, and it seems to be working. And this little morning show of mine is just becoming kind of like a little home away from home for people to start their day and enjoy the sense of community that we have, which is among the things that I put at the top of things that are valuable if you want to succeed in changing your lifestyle, and perhaps a lifestyle that has been going on for so many years that most people find it impossible to change. And support and community is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the singularly most important things when we try to make a change so drastic to our lifestyle and so demonized by virtually everybody else. The tendency is to feel like a fifth wheel and doubt yourself, because how could everybody be wrong? And it's astounding that the more we get into this and the more we learn, the more convinced we are that everybody is wrong. And then the agendas and the corruption and all that come to the surface and become obvious. And if we can resist the temptation to start worrying about whether we're killing ourselves like they tell us we are, and gain the confidence, then we can succeed. And success, as far as I'm concerned, has only one metric. Success on a carnivore lifestyle has one. There's no 80% successful, 50% successful. The scale weight loss is not a measure of success. None of that stuff indicates success. The only thing that indicates success is if you sustain this for the rest of your life without the feeling of being deprived of anything, without the cravings, without feeling sorry for yourself because you can't party with the rest of them and eat all that crap from morning to night with the rest of them. And until you do this properly, and until your physiology changes to the point where those feelings become foreign to you, because that, my friends, is indeed what's normal for a human being. And it's astounding that there are no more normal human beings on this planet, save from the few of us carnivores that have been doing it long enough to finally experience the freedom from the addiction. And that, my friends, is the finish line, as far as I'm concerned, in this great race to live healthier and extend our lives. There's a lot of carnivores out there. There's a lot of carnivore influencers. Some of them in it for the right reasons, some of it for the wrong reason. Just because I may disagree with the techniques or the philosophies of some of them doesn't mean that I hate them. I don't attack them individually. I don't respond to their videos. I don't find fault with them. I think anybody, no matter what they believe, that has a good heart and actually wants to help people is entitled to their opinion, and I hope they allow me the same thing. But Kiltz, my friend Kiltz, as you know, invited me to this barbecue. And I told you in my little video the reasons I didn't want to go. It's not important to me to be a part of the in crowd. That's not why I do these things, so that I can be a star or a big shot. I don't care about that. That doesn't mean anything. Oh, I mean, it's nice when people admire you, but I do not want to be a big star and have paparazzi chasing me around for sure. I have no desire to do that. And I said that, that wasn't enough of a draw for me to spend the money and all the effort to go over there and check into that very expensive hotel and then drive all the way to Sarasota in what would be rush hour traffic on Friday afternoon, take me, and deal with all of that, and then drive back to Tampa to the hotel after the barbecue, and then check out of the hotel at 8 o'clock in the morning, because that's when the Q&A starts. Go to lunch at the steakhouse, at the Brazilian steakhouse, which I can certainly, I've been to those things so many times now. It's fun, and then get in my car and drive home on Saturday, just in time to hit Disney when the Disney rush hour starts, and a 2.5-hour trip becomes a 4-hour trip because of stop and go traffic. I just said, you know what, and it broke my heart because I valued the invitation to that thing, because that was done out of kindness on Kiltz's part. So this morning I get up, and I'm up early, and as I do sometimes when I get up early, I turn to YouTube and I watch Kiltz's 5 a.m. live stream. And this morning, he had Richard Smith on. Richard Smith, if you've never seen the guy, is one of a kind. One of a kind on YouTube when it comes to the carnivore space. His experience, he's still a young guy, but his experience, his knowledge of biology and biochemistry is incredible. And I think he's really on the right track, and he's lived the life. He's walked the walk. He doesn't just talk the talk. He's a great guy. I'm in the same camp as he is, but my approach is radically different. And the thing that I get from Richard Smith when I listen to him is a deep explanation of the biology at work with all of the names of the enzymes and the pathways and the hormones and how this reacts with that. And I mean, he answers questions brilliantly, and he has evidently a lucrative practice of consulting and coaching people, and he deserves it. He's put the work in. He's put the study in. But as I listen to him, not from my standpoint, because I understand every word that comes out of his mouth. I understand it. I know it. I'm familiar with the biology and the biochemistry. But that's a rarity among people who are trying to go on a carnivore diet and help themselves. And my approach is entirely different. I try not to confuse people. I try to keep it as simple as I can so as not to overwhelm people with words like oxidative phosphorylation, ubiquinone, all of these things that I understand, and I understand their place in the biology, but that's not a concern that people on carnivore should have. But I was thoroughly entertained by the live stream this morning. I watched the replay of it because I started it at 6 o'clock. So I didn't actually watch it live. So I sat down at 6 o'clock. I sat down. I'm sitting out there on my patio. I put a jacket on because it was so damp, and I turn on the TV, and I got my coffee. And Kiltz comes on, and there's, I don't know if she pronounces it Aliyah or Alia. I'll get to meet her, but there's three windows on the computer screen, and Richard is on the left, and Kiltz is on the right. Ali is down at the bottom. She's playing moderator and gathering up the questions, and it's a very efficient thing to have when you're doing these live streams. And so the live stream starts, and then while I'm watching, right in the middle of the live stream, I get an email. From Alia. And it says, Mitch, Kiltz really wants you to come. He's got a B&B set up for a few of the people that are coming. You're welcome to stay there. I said, well, I really had decided not to go. And then I started looking at my comments from yesterday, and there's Kiltz. My brother from another mother, there's Kiltz. And complimenting the hell out of me. And I hope this doesn't embarrass him. But there's a comment with a $50 thank you attached. Well, hell, those kind of things bring tears to my eyes. Why the hell do people care that much about me? It's very heartwarming. So I answered those comments. I say, that's more than generous, Kiltz. And you guys can be that generous and have been, and more to me. And words fail when you try to thank somebody for that kind of generosity. And I'm watching the live stream, and there's Peter. And Peter's a moderator on Kiltz's channel, and and I see his comments put up on the screen every once in a while. And I'm saying to myself, wow, Peter gets up at 5 o'clock every morning to participate in the Kiltz live stream. Holy cow. So I'm watching the live stream. All of a sudden, I hear Kiltz say, if any of you have a way, or any of you are talking to Mitch or leaving him comments, tell him that it's important to me that he come this weekend. I really want, or I don't remember exactly the words, but it was like, please, Mitch, come, it's important. I said, wow, whoa. Now, I was watching a replay, so I couldn't comment back or say anything. I had just gotten that email from Alia telling me that he has a place for me to crash Friday night if I want. And he's being so nice to me, and I'm saying, well, maybe I'm more important to him than I thought. And he is the world's most generous man. Let me tell you. I mean, I never believed in altruism. In other words, doing good for good's sake only, without having something in it for you. And I don't think there's such a thing as a 100% altruist. But I tell you what, Kiltz the closest I have ever met to an altruist in my lifetime. And he's been very fortunate in business and in his practice, and he can afford to do that, and he doesn't hesitate. He is one person that is certainly not doing YouTube with any financials. It costs, God knows how much money it costs him to do the things that he's doing. And for that respect alone, he deserves tremendous respect. So Kiltz, my brother, if you're listening to this, you bring tears to my eyes, my friend. It really is an honor to know you. So I'm going. And that brings a scene from The Godfather back, with one of my favorite Godfather lines from all the movies. And that was, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Holy cow. Oh, wow. And look at Melissa Campbell. Just gave me... I'm going to break down here, guys. A $50 super chat. It says, for your trip, if you decide to go. If not, enjoy some good coffee. Oh, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys overwhelm me. So, I got... The last few days have been quite an awakening for me about the fact that maybe I am worth something after all as an old man here. And that means more to me than anything. So thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. And if I do get down to running through the chat looking for questions, and I will put that super chat. I will put that super chat on the screen. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. At any rate, I'm going to drive. It's going to be easier on me this way. Not having to get involved in the Tampa traffic and coming and going from that hotel, which is by the Tampa airport. I'm going to just take my time. I'm going to leave here early afternoon on Friday. I'm just going to drive straight to Sarasota, straight to Kiltz's house. That'll be so much easier. And it'll avoid an awful lot of traffic for me. I won't be in a hurry to do anything. I'll worry about finding the B&B after the barbecue. I've got GPS after all. The B&B is in Bradenton, which is north of Sarasota. It's halfway to Tampa, where I would have to go early Saturday morning to be there at 8 o'clock for the panel and Q&A. And that'll be easy. There won't be a lot of traffic. And the only traffic I'm going to have to fight, basically, is going to be coming home on Saturday afternoon fighting the Disney stuff. But it may very well be that some of us that are there may actually get together and do something after this thing is all over, and that'll keep me there later. Whatever. I'm so looking forward to it now, where I was almost dreading it before. So thank you to everybody for the encouragement, especially you, Kiltz. Especially you, my friend. And in your honor, I'm drinking my coffee out of your cup. But your cup, Kiltz, I have a complaint. I do have one little gripe. Your cup is a small cup. And on a morning like this, it just doesn't hold enough coffee. But don't feel bad. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I have a thermos jug. And I will refill it. There you go. You see? Where there's a will, there's a way. And while we're flirting, we've been flirting with 200 people in this stream. And I hope I'm not boring you to death or gushing too much, but it was crazy. So that's not the end of the story. You know how Paul Harvey used to say it now? The rest of the story. So I get an email after all that from Alia. I'm assuming that's how she pronounces her name. I'll find out tomorrow or Friday. Dr. Kiltz wants to know if you could be his guest on his morning live stream tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. His guest that had been booked for tomorrow morning went into labor. Oh, man. 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I had just finished watching the replay of this morning's live stream when that happened. He shouted me out. Peter shouted me out. I've never been shouted out like that so much on a live stream. And I emailed her back. I said, I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to. So, and I said, no chance of me going into labor. And she sent me the link back. I'll be there. So tomorrow morning, for those of you brave people that are up at 5 a.m., you'll see me have an opportunity to do something that I don't think I've done before. And not that it's nothing to do with Kiltz. Kiltz and I have been on live streams plenty of times together. We get along great. We actually, as far as carnivore goes, are so much more aligned in our thinking than so many other people. But I will have an opportunity. I will have an opportunity that isn't afforded to me very often. And that will be to bust on my friend Peter even more tomorrow morning. So Peter, get ready for it, my friend. Oh, that'll be the most fun. Anyway. No, it's going to be great. So I'll be there 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 a.m. And me and Kiltz. And I'll tell you what, I guarantee you, if you're a Kiltz fan, tomorrow morning live stream will probably be like nothing he's ever done before, because I know that's what happened on the previous times we got together. And man, I would even love it if Nelson Vasquez could chime in, because we were like the Three Musketeers in Orlando last year, and it was fun. So I am so happy, my friends, and so excited about the next few days coming up in this weekend, where I was dreading them only a few days ago. And that just shows you how sometimes you can't plan things. Sometimes things just happen in life, and opportunities come up that couldn't have been planned like this. a sequence of events. And my whole life's been like that. And any success and good things that have ever happened to me wasn't from long-term planning. It was always being in the right time, at the right place, recognizing opportunities, and saying yes. So that's the story, and that's the rest of the story. And it's quite a story worth telling. And that's my show notes today. I haven't been following the chat. I don't know who's here. I see some chats going by. Francine Bourgeois said, she puts in there like 10 Qs. Mitch, you deserve everything that's coming to you. Enjoy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And this thing I do in the morning here with my friends is the highlight of my life. So I get something out of it too, guys. I really do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Another sip of coffee. Wow. Let me start. Now, I know some of you may have put questions in there, but I'm going to race through it. So if I don't actually acknowledge your presence today, or notice a comment that maybe I should have read, it's because I'm way behind. I'm 45 minutes behind from where I am in the consecutive chat, but I am kind of glancing over to the left there at the current chat. Aaron says, I think that'll be 4 a.m. for me. Well, there's going to be a replay for sure. Anyway, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And very different from this morning's live stream, that's for sure. And this morning's live stream was great. But I think this one will be just fun. I think it'll just be fun. Okay, let's see. Let me go through here. Everybody's chiming in, and I'm going to look for some QQQs. And I'm going to try to read some of this stuff, speed read some of this stuff. Everybody's talking about the weather. Here's somebody that I don't recognize. Grizz Peterson says, meat. Always an appropriate comment. Wow, look at all the conversation. I can't believe the amount of chatting that goes on in this live stream. Ellen is just chiming away in there. Juan, Terry Sue, Aaron, talking to each other. Who is this? Chelsea. Oh, yeah, Chelsea's back. Good morning, everyone. Can't stay long. Sorry. I guess you're probably gone by now. I'm just going to really try to pick out any questions that I might be able to answer. I don't see any cues so far. I'm up to 9:45, so I'm only a half hour behind. I guess my little speechifying this morning has not brought a lot of questions to mind, but that's okay. That's okay. Who is this? Wow. I know I saw some. Here's some questions. Kim appreciates life. Anyone here give up bacon and your skin cleared up? My psoriasis is gone since I stopped baking 2 weeks ago. I don't think that's a common thing, Kim. I haven't heard of it. Maybe some people have. And it's very possible that you might want to just try switching brands of bacon just to make sure it wasn't something they were putting in that particular brand of bacon, because it's not, I don't think, a common thing. I live on bacon, for God's sakes. I eat a half a pound of it a day. I eat the Wrights, thick cut. And my skin, and I talked about that yesterday, is actually getting better. And my age spots are fading and going away instead of getting more and more of them as I get older. So it's hard to say. Hard to say. Whether that was something causing your psoriasis. Psoriasis is an autoimmune disease. So a little experimenting might not hurt. And if you find out that there's something in bacon in general, see if that same thing happens to you if you eat other pork, like baby back ribs or something. Try to do some experimenting, swapping one thing. Swap, go without the bacon for a while, clear it up. Okay, try eating some ribs, baby back ribs for a while. See if that kicks it up. Find out if it's something in a pig or something that is being added to whatever particular product that you're buying. That would be it's not an easy thing to troubleshoot, but that's the basis of diagnostics right there. And if anybody else wants to chime in on that with an opinion or has had similar experiences, by God, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Bill Cook says, Dr. Kiltz loves you, Mitch. I love him back, man. I'm telling you. If everybody in the world was like Kiltzy, this world would be an entirely different place. Just blown away. Blown away. And did find a question. How about that? Maybe this isn't a question kind of morning. Boyd Lamb says, I like Kiltzy's live streams of just him throwing out the inspiring and motivating stuff off the cuff. I actually haven't seen his new morning format yet. Going to watch this morning's replay for sure. Yeah, it's different. It's different than what he used to do. It's different than what he used to do. And I like this format. I like this format. And he started this format. He told me the last time I talked to him, or he said we were talking about people, and that was always been a running gag between the two of us ever since we first met. I like to bust on people. I liked him immediately, so I immediately started busting on him, and I said, well, the difference between you and me, Kiltzy, is you've got people, and I don't have people, so I can't do I can't keep up with you. And that people thing has become a running gag with us. So he lost his people. His guy that was doing his editing or whatever, or a lot of his, backstage type stuff left. So he ended up having to do it all himself. So he didn't have the time. He's a busy man. He's running a big medical business, on top of this. I wonder how the hell he does it. He brings new meaning to the definition of the Energizer Bunny. Honest to God, if you ever get in his presence, you feel the energy just coming off of this guy. It's incredible. And he's, 70, 71 years old? He's no spring chicken either. But he told me, well, I don't have people anymore. And the last time I saw him, say, hey, guess what? I got people again. And he does. Now he's got Alia, and he's got somebody to do the busy work and the emailing and the arranging of all these different things, and it's working out great for him. Great for him. And he started this new format of having guests, and his live streams took a whole different turn. And I wouldn't mind if he alternates one of the motivational pep talk live streams with the informational live streams now and then, but his new format is working out great. Working out great. And he's able to, I think, get a lot more accomplished. Here it is. Here's that Melissa Campbell. Thank you so much, Melissa. That was just more than kind of you. Thank you so much. I did want to acknowledge that, show it off. Love the color. I mean, anything like that, they want to make sure that whoever the host of the show is actually notices it, because that doesn't, not to me anyway, that doesn't happen very, very often. Linda Lewis is here. Hi, Linda. How you doing? Lewis L is here. Wow. Lizzie's here. Hi, Lizzie. Mitch. Find you've been alone like me. A little bit of encouragement. Yes. Yes, you got to do it yourself. Sometimes I think so. And that's a theme in our carnivore thing or in our get healthy thing. The expression, and Ken Berry uses this a lot, and it says a lot. That is, save yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. There's so much truth in that. So much truth. Save yourself. That's what we're doing. We're saving ourselves because nobody else is coming to save you. Not your relatives, not your doctors, not the food companies, not the drug companies. Nobody. Save yourself. And there's so much to really understand before you have the confidence to save yourself. That's why we're here. That's what we're doing. We want to cement that confidence in the fact that even though what we do flies in the face of everything they tell us, it's rooted in millions of years of successful health in every one of whatever creatures they were that was one of our ancestors at some time. Because I keep saying this, and it marvels me every time I think about it. Life started on this planet, and I know this ticks off some of the religious people. I can't do anything about that other than be accepting and not try to change your beliefs. But I deal in things that I believe to be true, that I've learned over a lifetime, and that fact is that life is a tree. We all believe in the tree of life. Even religious symbols in so many religions are a tree of life. And a tree grows out of one thing initially, and everything that comes after came from that original one thing that lived. And in the case of life on this planet, that one thing that was the first reproducing molecular machine that actually managed to somehow, and I won't tell you that, and I don't tell anybody that maybe that's where God played his role and the rest just played out. I can't, who am I to discount that fact? None of us could know for sure. There's no way of knowing. But since that happened, since that initial spark, I know for a fact, because it's provable, completely provable by science. We have the science now to trace the path backwards, all the way to the beginning, through genetics and other things. And everything alive on this planet, every blade of grass, every bacteria or microbe, every multi-celled organism, every plant, every animal, every fungus, I don't care what kingdom they're in, is a descendant of that original little molecule that somehow, accidentally or with divine guidance, split itself in two. And the two molecules split themselves in two to the next generation. And we are all related to those first couple of generations of living things, and the tree of life always goes back to that, no matter how far back you go. And the miracle, and the thing that has the odds so stacked against us, is that if you could know the number of generations that have happened in every living thing that was your predecessor back over the last 3.5 million years, that number would be so staggering that you couldn't comprehend it, the number of generations. We think of a human generation, what is it, 20 years approximately. The generation of a single bacteria could be minutes. The number would be staggering. And the undeniable truth, if you go way back billions of years in that tree of life through all of the generations, the undeniable truth of your ancestry. Think about this. And if you think I'm crazy saying it, just give it some thought. Every single ancestor of yours back for the last 3.5 billion years was successful enough to reproduce. Or you wouldn't be here. Your branch would have died out way back then. The odds against that are a number so high you can't comprehend them. But it happened the way it happened. So you're here today. But very few of us realize just the incredible amount of random shit that happened in 3 billion years that led to us. Things like if the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs 65 million years ago had just missed the Earth by 100 miles, none of us would be here today. Everything would have been different from that point on. And those random events occurred thousands of times a second in every living thing on this planet from the time that that first cell split in two. And it's through that lens that I look for answers as to why it is the way it is today. And in order to understand those answers, you have to not only accept, but you have to understand the path and the concepts of things like last common ancestor, things like that. And that makes tremendous sense. But nobody talks about that today. We're talking about who's going to win the Super Bowl this weekend. At any rate, as a little food for thought for you, if you like to think about things. And you can research that. You can research that stuff and find out that, in my opinion, in what I've finally come to terms with, not only did it happen that way, it could not have happened any other way than that. And that's a great way to look at things when you're trying to accept things or prove things to yourself. You have to look at options and alternatives. It's like a detective trying to find a murderer. When they finally settle on somebody and they think they got proof that this guy was the culprit, they still have to question, well, is there anything that points to the fact that it may have been somebody else? Because if there is, then they may be wrong. They may be wrong. Louis L. says, is Kiltz here? I don't know. I don't know if Kiltz is here or not. I think he watched the live stream yesterday. Kiltz, if you're here, man, I love you, buddy. Can't wait to see you this weekend. And B has a question. It's not a question. Thank goodness for you. Thank you, AMB. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Now, Matty Van, I see you here. How we doing? 10 o'clock. Well, I'm actually catching up. And we're only into this 1 hour so far. And wow, somebody bought me a coffee and I didn't even ask. Oh, question before chats. Here we go. Let's see. Jane bought me a coffee. Thank you, Jane, so much. No message. Very kind of you. No, where is it? Where is it? Jane, there it is. Good morning, Mitch. Love your new handmade mug. I have a question. I see you have a supplement on your Amazon link for K2D3. Is this common for taking while you're on a carnivore diet? That's a great question, Jane. It's a great question. And, you know, my overarching philosophy about supplements is shouldn't need any. Shouldn't need any. And this goes back to my belief that if all my ancestors hadn't been healthy enough to reproduce, I wouldn't be here. So obviously, when you go back more than a few hundred years, they didn't have supplements. When you go back 10, 20,000 years, they certainly didn't have supplements. And when you go back to the cavemen 30, 40, 50,000 years ago, you know they didn't have supplements. What did they have? How come they lived? How come they were athletic enough to hunt and kill big hairy animals? How did they have health? How did they know whether their vitamin D was low? That's something I do all the time. I immediately project back to, well, you know, and it's an old expression. What would a caveman do? There's brilliant answers in that, because they tell you he didn't need to do anything because it wasn't his job to monitor his health. It was his job to follow his instincts and the clues that his body gave him. Eat when he got hungry, you know, find shelter and warmth when he got cold. We don't have to be told that because animals don't need to be told that stuff. Your cat knows when to come in out of the rain. I mean, it's just part of their programming. But all the stuff that we used to get when you go way back from the food supplies, which are basically nature's vitamin pills. An egg is a vitamin pill. A ribeye is a vitamin pill. It's full of everything that we need. I've heard there are over 50,000 organic compounds in red meat alone. Who could monitor that and measure the level of every one of these things? Who could do that? Nobody could do that. But certain essential vitamins and things are not finding their way into the red meat that we get for one reason or another. You know, non-regenerative farming, raping of the soil, lack of basic minerals in the soil, like iodine, sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium, which have to be in the soil in order to get into the plant that the cow eats, so they get into the cow. So we're stuck. We're stuck with what are almost obvious deficiencies if we do eat the correct diet these days. And for me, I found out what they were primarily through symptoms and blood and some simple blood tests. How do you know if you need vitamin D? Get a blood test. Or look up what the symptoms are if you're really deficient, because a lot of times you can just be low on vitamin D like I was, but have no symptoms because I wasn't that low. So these are times when blood tests can help. And my vitamin D was very low. So I did a little looking around and found what I thought a year ago was a reputable brand of supplements. I do believe that K2 aids the body in absorbing and using the vitamin D. And so I said, okay, I'll get a bottle of this and I'll take it for a year, because you got to give these things time. Maybe not a year, but it was going to be a year till my next blood test, and see after a year if maybe I need to up the dose a little. So I did that. So my vitamin D a year ago was 30. I took one of these 5,000 IU tablets a day for a year, and my blood test this year was, my vitamin D was 64, which is wonderful. So I said, okay, that's it. Evidently, I need 5,000 international units of vitamin D. And that's how I decided that's a supplement that I'm not getting from the food I'm eating. And that makes sense. Now, if I get a little more sun when summertime comes and it's not foggy every morning, maybe that'll help a little, but it won't hurt. I'm certainly not going to overdose. Iodine, same reason. I find or believe that it's helpful. And I understand why, especially for organ health and things like that. And I take a small dose, 2 drops of Lugol's in my coffee every morning, and I think it helps. Electrolytes, I think we all need to probably take. There's just not enough potassium, magnesium. Now, there's potassium in meat. There's quite a bit of potassium in pork, in bacon, in a lot of things. I know the plant-based people are always pushing the veggies, the leafy greens and bananas and all that shit for the source of potassium. But animal products are plenty, and we need a lot of it. But when if you get leg cramps at night, that's a pretty good sign you're struggling with electrolytes, and it won't hurt if you take them. There's no downside to it. You take a small amount of them and it can't do any harm. And if you happen to not need them, your body will get rid of them. So I take electrolytes every day, keeps the leg cramps away, and I'm happy. And that's it. That's all I supplement. Electrolytes, and I came up with my own mix, which is cheap. A couple drops of iodine, which is the cheapest thing in the world. One bottle of iodine will last you for years if you use a drop or two a day. And vitamin D. I take one little capsule a day, and I think 100 capsules cost $12 or $15. Whatever it is, it's nothing. It's cheap. And that's it. And I eat the right nutritious food. I eat a lot of bacon, a lot of eggs, and mostly red meat, some chicken, some fish. And I don't micromanage anything. If I have any message to give, keep it simple. It's not our job to be a biochemist and run around for our entire lives wired up to machines, trying to monitor things. We have the machinery that does that thousands of times every second in our body and makes the appropriate adjustments based on that programming and that history that was responsible for the fact that every one of our ancestors made it long enough to reproduce since the beginning of time itself. And that's a reality that gives me a lot of confidence to leave my body alone and let it do its thing, because I have found if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And half the time when you try to fix it, all you end up doing is screwing it up anyway. So whether that's the epitome of advice, that's for you to decide. All I have is the evidence that I am one of those people. And I did it this way for the past 2.5 years. And I have achieved my end goal, which is what I think the most important goal. And that is sustainability for life. Because there is nothing that I want that I don't have right now, especially in the spectrum of food. It's an incredible feeling. And 2.5 years ago, I would have told people, that's impossible, it can't happen. It's a pipe dream. If you ask anybody that's been doing this for a few years or more, and they've been true to it and they haven't been binging, whether they don't feel a sense of liberation from that addiction that has been just destroying their lives for all these years. It's an incredible, incredible thing. And one of the things that I try to do here on this channel is to show you, just to show you, look, what can happen. I'm not telling you to believe me. I'm telling you, look at me. And I'm telling you that it is the closest thing to a miracle that I could imagine. And I know how I did it, so I'm trying to help. I can't help with everybody. We're all different, and a lot of people have conditions, have destroyed parts of their physiology that may not heal themselves and account for the reasons why this or that may not work. But if you got a relatively healthy starting point, even if you're a diabetic, even if you have these chronic diseases, you're going to be much better off doing this than not. But the goal is to completely transform your relationship to food, to make it more like your car's relationship to gasoline. Your car doesn't sit in your driveway yearning to go to the gas station and feel that gas nozzle inside. No, sorry. Doesn't. We should feel that way about food. We should not have the memories and the yearnings triggered by cravings where we think about how good this is going to be if we would eat it and keep looking for more and more rewarding food eating experiences. The opposites happen to me. I give a shit about food. I don't care. If I had to eat nothing but ground beef 3 times a day for a year, I'd be just as happy. Honest to God, it doesn't matter. There's nothing special about food. Yes, I like it when it tastes good, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's not a source of pleasure for me anymore in my life like it used to be. The main source, and everything revolved around it. That is addiction. We all need to be talking a hell of a lot more about it. All righty, wow, look at the attendance today, 194 people. Let me keep running through this because I'm still only 30 minutes behind again. And I know, here's a question. What is this? Gary, have you considered making a video shorts of you sharing your thoughts? Can conclude each with, I may be wrong, but I doubt it. Yeah, I've considered it, Gary, but I don't watch shorts. I don't like shorts. I don't want anything to do with shorts. I don't want anything to do with the instant, quick, transactional nature of trying to give information and in 10 seconds. I like to have a forum where I can do what I do like on this, and even my videos where I talk about things. I want to just saying facts, and then the people are clicking on to the next thing doesn't generate meaning in anybody's mind, in my opinion. Discussing, analyzing, letting things sink in is a much better way. And no, shorts, I don't care if it would grow my channel. I don't care if it would make me a big YouTube star. Doesn't matter. I don't like it. I don't watch them. Everybody else is doing them because some YouTube guru says you need to do it. If you learn nothing else about me, if you haven't learned it already, I don't play by anybody's rules. I do it my way. And my attitude is, if my way is not your way, then why are you here? I'm not trying to change you or change your mind about anything. I don't want to reform anybody. I've never marched with a sign in my life. I don't care. People can do or believe or think whatever the hell they want as long as it doesn't ruin my life. That's the thing. You're free. Your freedoms, they're yours, unless they affect my life in a negative manner. Then it's my right, I think, to say something about it. And I don't even do that. I usually tend to just try to distance myself from that with have a nice life, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And that's why I don't get in conflict. You don't see me arguing back and forth with some lunatic vegan on YouTube because I've tried to make a fool of him, so he has to come and try. I don't want to do that. I'll never make a reaction video like so many of these people do. Yeah, there's drama in them, and they get clicks, and they help your channel grow, and that's great. Not for me. Sorry. Oh, Francine, yes. Twice morning coffee. Life is good. Francine, you got the right idea, sweetie. All right, we're going through. Tussa, somebody new. Pork belly is a great bacon substitute. Well, bacon is pork belly. And yes, you can buy pork belly, and you can bake it in the oven, smoke it in a smoker, and not add anything to it. And you can slice it up like bacon and fry it up like bacon. I do that, and it's good. I mean, there's just something about bacon that has a little more pizzazz to it, but it would be a great way. If you think you're having a bad reaction to bacon, would be a great, and I didn't think of this when I was answering that question. That's a great idea. Try just pork belly, untreated, uncured, and see if you get the same reaction from that. Because the fats that are in pork are very, very good for you. The fat in the bacon is the most nutritious part. And it's also the tastiest part. It's why bacon is meat candy. is what it is. It's meat, candy. Question from Jackie W. I heard that plaque psoriasis starts out in the gut. Not sure where I heard that. But when I'm strict on carnivore, the flare-up that's been 3 years long almost fades away. I would agree with that because that's an autoimmune disease. And there certainly are many direct connections between gut health and autoimmune health. And the reason for that is the tight junctions in the epithelial cells in the gut walls. And we've all heard of a condition called leaky gut. Leaky gut. And what is leaky gut? Leaky gut means that toxins and other things that the body's trying to get rid of in its journey through the intestines leaks through the intestinal wall and gets into the bloodstream, where it instantly is transported to every cell in the human body. When it gets to every cell in the human body, these toxins do their dirty deeds, including autoimmune diseases like plaque psoriasis. So you eat a particularly nasty bit of plant food with toxins and anti-nutrients and lectins and other delicious things in it. The epithelial cells can't be tight anymore, and they start leaking all of this garbage into your bloodstream. Your bloodstream takes it to the cells, especially your skin cells too. Your body mounts an autoimmune response against, or an immune response against these toxins and things it wants to get rid of. And that leads to autoimmune diseases too. Now, I'm not an immunologist, that's not my field, and I don't study that a lot, but I imagine logically that that's why the results of a bad gut can show up anywhere in the body or any disease. So I think what you just asked is a very practical thing. And a lot of what happens in the gut is a response to what the bacteria in the gut are munching on and what they're crapping out, toxins. That's why everybody's so worried about the gut microbiome and its balance, and they're taking probiotics every day, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're even going so far as having fecal transplants, something that, ugh. My philosophy, and I found out today in listening to Kiltz and Stephen Smith, I align with them 1,000%. It's not our job to worry about the gut microbiome. The gut microbiome will adjust itself based on the health of the animal. So don't worry about your microbiome. Eat the right stuff, and the bad bacteria will die because their food source is no longer there. The sugar, so much of the plant material. That's not our job. That's not what our guts are supposed to do. So it all goes back to some simple advice, and that is, don't eat plants, eat meat. And all the problems just seem to go away. It's crazy, but it's not crazy. It's very, very, very understandable. And so simple that it marvels me how complicated people try to make this in the search for clicks and sponsors on YouTube. J. William Jordan. Hi, Jay. How you? Or Jeff. It's Jeff. J stands for Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? Did you ever see Dr. Kiltz's TED Talk, The Human Ferrari? This was my first exposure to him when I was still struggling vegan. No, Jeff, I didn't see that, but I will keep that in mind and maybe look for it, because I almost, just from the title, I have an idea what direction that talk took. Thank you for that. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, God. All right. I'm going to go faster here. I'm going to go faster. Try to get through this. Here's a question from Gary again. Can you do more walk and talk rants with you wandering around scenic places near you in beautiful Florida? Kind of. Yeah. I plan to do that. And this later start in the morning will make it possible because, I mean, I could leave the house while it's still dark, drive to a beautiful waterfront park, and do a walk and talk. I've done them in the past. I enjoy those things. It accomplishes two things. I get to record a video, and I get to spend some time out in nature in a pretty place at sunrise. So yeah, I need to do that. That kind of thing is one of the main reasons that I did change the schedule of this. And I think this 9:30 thing is going to work out great, but I still reserve the right to modify it a little bit if I think I need to. I don't think so. I think this will work good. And I'm also going to reserve the right every once in a blue moon to have to miss a day. And I think that's understandable too. This 7-day-a-week stuff can be restrictive. I know that this weekend I may end up missing Saturday morning because I'll be heading towards a Q&A in Tampa before 8 a.m. and won't be done with all those activities till afternoon. So I may miss Saturday. And I know that the thought horrifies everybody so much as to have to go through a day without me. I'm being facetious. But Saturday may be the first day in months that I miss one of these. There's reruns, though. Pick an old rerun and watch it. Something funny will happen, I guarantee you. Ribeye Susie's here. Hiya, Ribeye Susie. Good to see you. Let me run through here. You guys do not slow down in your chatting. Wow. Here's some QQQs. Peter, I'm so glad you're going to come to Kiltz's Barbecue. Thank you, Peter. And I'll see you tomorrow morning on Kiltz's live stream. I won't be too hard on you, my friend. All right, I am racing through it, and here's some QQQs. William McCartney, have you seen that Pepsi and other processed food makers are losing money, poor things? That's kind of hard to believe. I haven't seen that. Because I don't follow the stock market or any of that stuff anymore anyway. But I can't believe they're losing money. They funnel so much money into their propaganda campaigns and funding medical schools, drug companies, that no matter how much they make, their TV commercials, their ads, the amount of money they have to put out there into the world just to keep people recommending their poison has got to be enormous and probably growing every year. So I'm not surprised to hear that. Not surprised to hear that. They are, Coke and Pepsi are probably some of the, and I hate to say this because, you know, YouTube comes along and says, you are bad-mouthing our biggest sponsors, and therefore we're going to demonetize. We're going to deem your video not suitable for advertising. I'm not going to badmouth them. I'm just going to leave you with that, and see if you don't think that may be why they're not making much money. B81 Mac, how you doing, Mitch? Do you know the country of origin of your electrolyte ingredients? No, I don't know, Mac, and I don't care, honestly. I cannot live at that level of ridiculous detail. Seriously, do the best you can. I'm not going to work that hard trying to, and who knows that what they're telling me is even true. If you want to do it, that's fine. I mean, that's fine, and that's way too above and beyond what my quest for perfection is. I still trust my body and its ability to detoxify things that may not be what it needs, and the fact that whatever toxins or poisons you may think you're getting in you, we can get rid of them. It's the same reason I don't use antibacterial soap, hand sanitizer. I'm not a germaphobe. I'm exactly the opposite. Bring on the germs. I don't care. I have the machinery and the programming to deal with these things. Unless it happens to be a new germ that was manufactured as a biological weapon, that's a whole nother story. We have to take those things as they come. And even then, we don't know what the hell we're doing. I don't want to talk about that right now. Do the best you can. Do the best you can, my friend. Don't sweat the small stuff. Here's one. I don't know. Hero Brian All-Star. I don't know you. You're new. I haven't seen you before, but this is, I get it, Mitch, but wow, it would be fun to see you come after some of these knuckleheads. No, I don't want to make enemies. I always used to joke, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I don't like conflict. I've had so much conflict in my life. So many friggin' lawyers. So many times that people stole from me in businesses. Substantial thefts. And so much angst and stress and anger. I'm too old for that now. I run the other way from it. I certainly don't seek out conflict. Some people need conflict in their life. I'm trying to head off in the other direction right now. Be happy. It ain't easy. I mean, all you got to do is turn on the news, but it's not easy. Any more questions? I am at 10:54. I am almost caught up here. Wow. That's great. Almost to the end. I did it. You know what that means? I get to play with my sound effects buttons. Yes, 194 people still here. Still here. I haven't been able to bore the crap out of them yet. Man, maybe I'm not doing my job. No, I'm joking. Warms my heart. It's great to see everybody just hanging in there for this. And it turns out that it just kind of falls at about an hour and a half. Unless you guys ask me one of these questions where I get on that soapbox that just goes for a half an hour. Just goes for a half an hour. Oh, wow, look at this. And I didn't even put my coffee link in there today. I didn't do that. I don't like to do that, but I didn't do it today. Greg Smith, get yourself a good cigar for your trip, he says. 5 coffees. Thank you. Greg, you're such a great friend of this channel. Looking forward again to Thursday night, to tomorrow night, to the private community live stream. Greg's usually one of the first ones. Greg and Tuka and Peter come into that panel and it's like you know, our little boys club, and then some of the girls come in, and we have a great time in that private community. I don't try to sell it. I don't advertise it. I don't even tell people to join. People who want to join. If they don't, they don't. But we do have that live stream where we all come into a panel, and it's like being, you know, in a Zoom call with people. Only it's not really moderated. It's just whatever comes up, we talk about. Sometimes we hardly ever even talk about carnivore in it, but it's a nice diversion, and it's just good to be among friends. So thank you, Greg. Thank you for that. You know I really appreciate it. And I think, unless I see any more questions, and I don't, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. And it's been a great day. Very monumental morning. And as a reminder, my friends, tomorrow morning, it'll be 9:30. But if you just can't get enough of me, and you happen to be up at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever you are, you will find me giving Kiltz a hard time on his live stream And that should be, at the very least, just fun and entertaining. And I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting together with him again this weekend. He's been so kind to me. That's just who he is, I guess. That's just who he is. So, I'm going to play a little happy music and give all of you 1 minute and 45 seconds, the length of this song, to say goodbye to each other in the chat before we call it a day. And dance a little bit. Why not? I'm going to have to get my bongo drums in here one morning and play along with this. Yes, I do play the bongo drums, believe it or not. I got rhythm for an old fart, I got to tell you. I've always been that way. Always been a musical guy. I love it. And Mike Seeley's in there. Kim appreciates Life. Jackie W saying goodbye. B81 Mac retired. Rick Aunt B. Claudia Burkick. Sandy Blythe. Northwoods Trains. J. William Jordan. Aaron. Everybody saying goodbye to each other. Tom in Tampa Viking. Have a good day. Steve McAvoy. Bob Black. Farrell Grandma. Terry Sue, goodbye, sweetie. Thanks for coming. Thanks for everything you do. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. May as well finish this coffee. Why not? The music's about to end. Right now, yes. And with that, my friends, it's been fun this morning. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a very happy morning for me. Thanks so much for the attendance. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making this a place that you actually want to be in the morning. Sometimes that's a little hard to find. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. No, I'll see you at 5 for those of you that are up. And then I'll see you again at 9:30 and we'll talk about what happened at 5, I'm sure. But until then, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.